Students, we are going to continue with the summer of the beautiful white horse. As you all know that how Murad had brought a horse and Aram and Murad, both of them, had gone for riding. Murad beautifully rode the horse, but Aram, as the horse was new to him and the horse did not allow any new person to sit in, so it made Aram fall down from his back and ran away. Now both the boys started looking for the horse, and it was around after half an hour that Murad found the horse and brought him back. I continued down the road and my cousin Murad went across the field towards the irrigation ditch. It took him half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. "All right," he said, "jump on, the whole world is awake now. What will we do?" I said, "Well," he said, "we'll either take him back or hide him until tomorrow morning." He did sound worried, and I knew he'd hide him and not take him back. "Not for a while at any rate." "Where will we hide him?" I said. "I know a place," he said. "How long ago did you steal this horse?" I said. It suddenly dawned on me that he had been taking these early morning rides for some time and had come for me this morning only because he knew how much I longed to ride. अब क्या हुआ कि जब वो वापस हॉर्स को लेके आ गया, he had brought the horse. I asked him कि now what will we do? He said, "Come on, now because it's morning and now we have to hide this horse." So he said कि there will be sound, but he wasn't worried. He said इसको hide कर देंगे, we will do it tomorrow morning. By this I came to know कि ये सुबह early rides पता नहीं कितने दिन से ले रहा था. So I asked him, "From how much time have you stolen this horse?" But he did not answer to it. "Who said anything about stealing a horse?" he said. "Anyhow," I said, "how long did you be in riding every morning?" "Not until this morning," he said. "Are you telling the truth?" he said. "Of course not," he said. "But if you are not found out, that's what you have to say. I don't want both of us to be liars. All you know that we started riding this morning." "All right," I said. उसने कहा ठीक है, हम दोनों लायर्स नहीं होंगे. और किसने बोला I have stolen the horse? और अगर ये राइडिंग शुरू की है तो I have done it in the morning only. So if anyone asks you, आपको यही कहना कि we started this morning only. He walked the horse quietly to the barn of a deserted vineyard, which at one time had been the pride of a farmer named Fatwazian. They went some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. We began walking home. It wasn't easy, he said, to get this horse to behave so nicely. At first he wanted to run wild, but as I have told you, I have a way with the horse. I can get to do what I want to do. I wanted to do. Horses understand me. बोले कि है ना, first we went to Fatwazian's barn and then we tried the horse there. उस barn में there were some oats and dry alfalfa. Then we started walking and he said कि first when I had brought this horse, it wanted to run wild. सिर्फ जंगलियों की तरह उसे भागना था. But मुझे आता है how to train a horse and I made it do it and now he understands me. "How do you do it?" I said. "I have an understanding with the horse," he said. "Yes, but what sort of an understanding?" I said. "A simple and honest one," he said. "Well," I said, "I wish I knew how to reach an understanding like that of a horse." "You are still a small boy," he said. "When you get to the 13, you will know how to do it." I went home and ate a hearty breakfast. बोले अब क्या हुआ कि बोले even I want to know कि किस तरह की अंडरस्टैंडिंग है आपके साथ. बोले तुम एक बहुत छोटे बच्चे हो, you are just a 9 years old. When you will be 13 like me, Murad said, that time you will come to know. So then we went home and I had my breakfast, heavy breakfast. That morning my uncle Khosrow came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor, sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Bairo, an Assyrian, who out of loneliness had learned to speak Armenian. My mother brought the lovely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked, and then at last, sighing, he said, My white horse, which was stolen last month, is sadly, he said, still gone. I cannot understand it. Now what happened? My uncle Osgrove came to our house to drink coffee and cigarettes. और वो विंडो के पास बैठा, sipping, and he was sipping and smoking, and he was remembering our old country, जहाँ के हम लोग पहले थे. Suddenly एक और visitor आया, that was John Barrow. He was an Assyrian, but because he was lonely, अकेला था, only Assyrian there, so he learnt Armenian. My brother brought coffee for him also and gave him tobacco also. He also smoking and sipping. He just said something that I have lost my beautiful white horse. I don't know who has stolen it. It has been a month. My uncle Khosrow became very irritated and said, it's no harm. What is the loss of the horse? Haven't we lost the homeland? What is this crying of a horse? Suddenly my uncle Khosrow shouted and he said, pay no attention. What is the loss of the horse? इसमें हार्म क्या है? हम लोगों ने तो अपना पूरा होमलैंड है ना घुमा दिया है. We have lost our homeland. And what are you crying about this horse? That may be all right for you, a city dweller, to say, John, Pyro said. But what of my Surrey? What good is the Surrey without a horse? Pay no attention to it, my uncle Khosrow wrote. I walked 10 miles to get here, John Byro said. You have legs, my uncle Khosrow shouted. My left leg pains me, the farmer said. Pay no attention to it, my uncle Khosrow wrote. That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. I spit on money, my uncle Khosrow said. Now what happened? John Byro को वो बोलने लगा. John Byro said कि आप लोग city dwellers हो, so it's nothing. पर मैं एक बिना horse के I am nothing. I need a horse. बोले क्यों? बोले मुझे यहाँ 10 miles लगे तुम्हारे यहाँ आने के लिए. तो बोले why you don't have legs? He said पर मेरे legs pain करते हैं and my house was of $60. So uncle said no, I spit on your horse and you just don't pay attention, and then he went away. My mother exclaimed, that is simply he's homesick and such a large man. The farmer went away and I ran over to my cousin Mora's house. He was sitting under a peach tree trying to repair the hurt wing of a young robin which could not fly. He was talking to the bird. What is it? He said. The farmer John Byro, he said, he visited our home. He wants his horse. You have had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I learn to ride. बोले जॉन बायरो हमारे घर पे आया था. He went and told Murad everything and he said कि I have come to know कि 1 month से तुम्हारे पास है. But now I want you कि you should not return it till I also don't learn how to ride. It will take you a year to learn to ride, my cousin Murad said. We could keep the horse a year, he said. My cousin Murad leaped at his feet. What? Are you inviting a member of the Gargolian family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner. बोले कि तुमको तो एटलीस्ट है ना 1 year लगेगा सीखने के लिए. तो बोले क्या तुम चाहते हो कि गार्गोलियन ट्राइब है ना स्टील करे? He said no, the horse should go back to its true owner. बोले in how much time? At least 6 months latest. He threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last flew away. Every morning for 2 weeks, my cousin Murad and I took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it and rode it, and every morning the horse, when it was my turn to ride alone, leaped over grapevines and small trees and threw me and ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in one time to learn to ride the way my cousin Murad rode. One morning on the way to Fatwajin's deserted vineyard, we ran into the farmer John Byro, who was on his way to town. Let me do the talking, my cousin Murad said. I have a way with the farmers. Now what happened? For 2 weeks we kept on riding. Whenever मेरा turn आता, that horse would take me across the vines, throw me, and then it would go away. But I thought कि नहीं, I will learn riding like Murad. But one day what happened, जब हम उसको फैटवेजिन बार की तरफ ले जा रहे थे, we met John Byro, who was going to the town. Now my cousin Murad said that let me do the speaking. मुझे बात करने देना, because I know I have a way with the animals, I have a way with the farmers. Good morning, John Byro, my cousin Mora said. The farmer studied the horse eagerly. Good morning, son of my friends, he said. What is the name of your horse? My heart, my cousin Mora said in Armenian. A lovely name, John Byro said, for a lovely horse. I could swear it is the horse that was stolen from me many weeks ago. May I look into his mouth? Of course, Mora said. अब क्या हुआ? John Byro मिला. We greeted him. And when he was studied the horse, उसने horse को देख के बोला, मुझे ये लगता है कि जो मेरा horse 1 month पहले steal हुआ था, it is my horse. I feel this is my horse. Okay, let me look at it. He said, "How you look at it?" The farmer looked into the mouth of the horse. Tooth for tooth, he said. उसने कहा, I swear it. He is identical. He is just like my friend, my horse. If y'all would not have been from the Gargolian tribe, तो मैं ये कह सकता था कि this horse was stolen. But yet I can say कि ये मेरे twin हो सकता है. But through his eyes हमें मालूम पड़ गया था कि he is doubting on us. He just greeted us and he went on his way. After John Byro had left, both those brothers, they felt guilty. उनके अंदर गिल्ट आ गई क्योंकि उनको मालूम पड़ गया कि जॉन बायरो उनको सस्पेक्ट करना शुरू हो गया है. Good day, John Byro, my cousin Mara said. So John Byro went away. Then that next morning, early the following morning, we took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed us around without making a sound. The dogs, I whispered to my cousin Murad, I thought they would bark. They would add somebody else, he said, I have a way with dogs. Uske baad, because they were feeling guilty and they thought that it would become a black spot, that this Gargolian tribe, who was honest, have now started stealing. So that is why they thought of returning back the horse. वो लोग गए next morning and they went to the barn. The dogs were following. Aram was a little scared because he thought the dogs may bark and everybody will come to know. But Murad said, I have a way with the dogs, I have a way with the animals, so they are not going to harm us nor they bark. When he was giving a farewell to the horse, he put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and then we went away. That afternoon, John Byro came to a house in Ussuri and showed my mother the horse that he had been stolen and returned. I do not know what I think he said. The horse is stronger than ever, better tempered too. I thank God. My uncle Khosrow, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted, Quiet, man, quiet! Your horse has been ridden, pay no attention to it. Now what happened? John Byro came back, told my mother that I have got back my horse. I really thank God for it. And my horse has become even more stronger, और ज़्यादा strong भी हो गया है. And he's become more better tempered also. उसका temper भी अच्छा हो गया है. My uncle Khosrow, वो पार्लर में बैठे थे. Again he got angry and he said, you shouted, बोले quiet man, अब चुप हो जाओ. तुम्हारा horse तुमको मिल गया ना? अब now don't pay any attention to it. And so now we end with the chapter. You saw how honest the Gargolian tribe was. Thank you.